Hi, this is Ernie again. I'm that guy who had $6 in his checking account to now having millions of dollars. Today, I want to talk about a tool that you can use. Many people have asked me, hey, how do you know which stocks to buy, which ETFs to invest in? So I'm going to show you how to use a tool that I frequently use called a stock or ETF screener. This is, you'll be able, for those who are computer programmers, it's like doing a SQL query or just doing Google search, but it is very specific because they have all kinds of data, and you should be able to tell you what you are looking for and narrow it down to maybe 20 ETFs or stocks that you really want to focus on so that you'll be able to study a little bit and make a decision whether you want to invest in them or not, or leverage options to start accumulating. So let me show you what it looks like. So this is Charles Schwab. And once you click on, let me go up there, research, and it'll show you, do you want to look at something in the US market, international, or do you want to look at ETFs? So let's start with ETFs. I'll do the stocks in the latter part of the video, but let's start with ETFs first. And there are a bunch of things that you could use. You can find them by searching. You could come up with just Charles Schwab ETFs, or I'm going to use the stock screener. And before we use this stock screener and all the tabs, I'm going to show you a reason why I invested in SOXL and another tool that you could potentially use. And given that people complain that I only use Charles Schwab, I'm going to use Fidelity for this. So this is a tool from Fidelity. You'll be able to find out how well a industry sector that has done. So for example, you'll see that consumer discretionary did not perform well last 1 month, 3 months, or year to date. You'll be able to see all these. And what I realized during the pullback is that one of the sectors that did not perform well, consumer, definitely, right? But as you might know, like Kraft Heinz or Coca-Cola, their option premium is not that great because the price doesn't move that much. So excluding that, what has not performed well? Information technology, one of the worst performer within the last month. Last 3 months, information technology again. Year to date, information technology again. Material sector did not perform well from 1 year perspective. Energy sector also did not perform well, but they fluctuate a lot more on economic and political news. So I do not want to touch these. So it could be healthcare, which I'm still unsure if I want to get into it because a lot of the pharma companies might not be profitable depending on what Bobby Kennedy is doing. So I don't want to touch that yet. But if you look at that, this is one of the worst performing. So once you click on it, it tells you which subsector within that industry is not performing well. So let's go to 1 month. One of the worst performer, semiconductor. 3 months, one of the worst performer. Yeah, there's a hardware, software, but with the interest rate being high and all the tariffs and all that, I don't want to touch this yet. So this is the second worst performer. And year to date, yeah, semiconductor. So I decided to look at semiconductor and said, if it's down a lot, like the way it is, on my way up, why do I not leverage the 3x so that when it goes up to maybe even halfway, it will go 3 times the speed. So that's why I got into SOXL. But this will be able to tell you a lot of information that you probably need in terms of undervalued sectors or subsectors that you might want to potentially get into. So once you have that, then you use that information in that stock screener in Charles Schwab. So in Charles Schwab, on the left-hand side, you're going to look at a bunch of things. One, to me, whether it's optionable matters. So I'm going to click on that. And you click yes here, and it shows that there are about 17 1,700 ETFs. I'm going to look at sector exposure. I want something that has information technology, and I want sector, information technology sector. You could click on any of these, or you could actually enter the value. I want something that's 70 to 100%. And then what else do I want to look at? I want, let's say, price performance. Do we want to look at price or fund performance? Total return. So I'm going to look at, let's say, 3 months worth of return. This does not give you negative value. So if you want negative value, you need to click here. I want something that performed minus 50 to 0%. Now it gives me 56 ETFs that has not performed well. And I'm going to sort them by total return. Yep, these are the worst performing one. CoinShare, Bitcoin, as you can imagine, miners did not do well. So if you believe the miners will continue to do well or Bitcoin is going to come back, this might be worthwhile. Digital transformation ETF, I actually don't know what's in it, right? But you got to do a little bit of research and find out. NVIDIA, yeah, it has not been performing well. So this is one of the things that I think a lot of my my followers are looking into, like 2x return. Yeah, if you truly believe that this is the right thing that you want to use, then yeah, go ahead and use it. This is where you get SOXL. 3-month return is minus 20%. If it wasn't for today, this would have been down even more because it's up 10% today. There's a technology bull run. It's leverage funds. So you could exclude that if you want to. Technology, small cap. There's a bunch of them. Right? Here's another semiconductor. So not everything that goes down will come back up, right? Some car companies like Workhorse or Mullen, they're never coming back up. Or I think they're never coming back up. But when you're looking at the sector, since you're not dealing with the individual companies, for everything to stay down forever, that is very unlikely. They will eventually come back up. It's just a matter of time, whether it's worth your time or you're going to get a better return by selecting something else. I'm more of, I want to look at undervalued stocks or ETFs or growth ETFs, where I think I might be able to get a lot more return from the ETF return as well as stock options or ETF options. So that's where I typically focus. But there are tools like this for Fidelity, as you probably have seen as part of the sector. Charles Schwab has one. Almost every single company, brokerage companies have these. So try to utilize it and see what's worth your time rather than looking at the entire broader market, which might be overwhelming. And use this to your advantage. And this will also help you understand like what happens during a cycle, economic cycle, what does well. Like for example, beer company does extremely well during a recession. People just drink a lot of beer. Company that makes Spam, they do extremely well during a recession because they cannot afford premium meat, so they go eat Spam, which I absolutely love. But so you'll be able to learn a lot about these as you study them and study the sectors specifically. Please send me any questions if you have. I'm sure you guys will have plenty of them. Please like, please repost, please comment if you have any specific questions. And also, if you have any specific things that might be too sensitive, please send me direct messages and I'll respond to you as soon as I can. Hopefully this was useful. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.